167, Internet 934, national feed on Sirius XM and Internet channels 91. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM NHL schedule for Thursday, May the 21st. Channel 91 on the court and on.
Hey, Flipside, how are you doing tonight? Thank you for coming in.
Follow all the drama as your favorite team vies for it all. Sirius XM NBA Radio, Sirius XM 86.
New York Rangers legend and Hockey Hall of Famer.
Been busy past couple days, been unable to make it into one of yours, but that'll change tonight. I'll definitely step into one of your streams tonight.
Rangers, as well as ending the 54-year drought for the franchise and how that team represented what a hockey team is all about.
Well, look, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about 1994 as well. You mentioned Mike Keenan. We spoke with him in
Pressure wash today, it slipped, and I blew off some skin on my hand that's all bloody and rough. Ouch! Well, ouch.
In Game 7, you get a power play goal.
Be careful. Just a flesh wound, though, right? It's just a flesh wound.
So take us back to that hot, steamy night, what was it, June 14th of 1994 at the Garden in New York.
Just, I guess just starting, going to the rink, trying to keep your same routine. Brian Leach and I would always drive together down through Times Square.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for Game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinal between the Montreal Canadiens and the Carolina Hurricanes.
The city was just electrified. Getting down towards Madison Square Garden, seeing the crowd already starting to build, the police officers surrounding the garden. It was a carnival-like atmosphere. Obviously, we knew we were something on the cusp of doing something that hadn't been done in 54 years. The magnitude of it was palpable. I mean, the energy, just everything just seemed to be so electrified. You try to keep yourself in the moment. You try to stay with your routine. Obviously, there's a much more at stake. And then, we found ourselves much like we did in '87, up 3-1 in the series, losing to the fifth game where it was pretty much a foregone conclusion that New York Rangers were finally going to win the Stanley Cup after 54 years, only to find ourselves that the party atmosphere got a little bit delayed, and then had to go back to Vancouver, which again, we got trounced in Vancouver, just like we did in '87, and now we're coming home for Game 7, and the same thing happened. It just, we felt good about our chances. We felt we were a better team than Vancouver. We felt that we should have wrapped up the series earlier against Vancouver, but that's the greatest thing about sports. You can think all you want, but the reality is they got a heartbeat over there too. They got pride over there too. They're there for a reason because they're a great team. And here we are in Game 7 and having to go out and execute a great game plan to beat a very hungry, very young, very physical, hard team to play against in Vancouver. And luckily for us, we had a lot of experience. We had a dynamic, incredible amount of talent. Brian Leach and Sergei Zubov, Alex Kovalev, Adam Graves.
Just chilling out, you're getting a ton of rain? Well, that's good. The rain is good. Need that rain.
And ever won a Stanley Cup, but if you look up the word team, they could put the 1994 Ranger team right there, and that year, that team epitomizes what a team is all about.
Sirius XM NFL Radio Channel 88 brings you expert analysis from former players, coaches, and executives, plus reaction to all the latest news on the only 24/7 station dedicated to the National Football League.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM NHL schedule for Thursday, May the 21st. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL playoffs, the Carolina Hurricanes face the Montreal Canadiens. Hurricanes on Sirius 208, XM 219, and Internet 924. Canadians on Sirius and XM channels 167, Internet 934. National feed on Sirius XM and Internet channels 91. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it logged on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM NHL schedule for Thursday, May the 21st. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL playoffs, the Carolina Hurricanes face the Montreal Canadiens. Hurricanes on Sirius 208, XM 219, and Internet 924. Canadians on Sirius and XM channels 167, Internet 934. National feed on Sirius XM and Internet channels 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM NHL schedule for Thursday, May the 21st. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL playoffs, the Carolina Hurricanes face the Montreal Canadiens. Hurricanes on Sirius 208, XM 219, and Internet 924. Canadians on Sirius and XM channels 167, Internet 934. National feed on Sirius XM and Internet channels 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM NHL schedule for Thursday, May the 21st. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL playoffs, the Carolina Hurricanes face the Montreal Canadiens. Hurricanes on Sirius 208, XM 219, and Internet 924. Canadians on Sirius and XM channels 167, Internet 934. National feed on Sirius XM and Internet channels 91. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it logged on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, channel 91.
Follow every second of the action on NHL Network Radio. From behind the bench to every play on the ice. If it's hockey, it's on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91.
Tampa Bay Lightning head coach John Cooper stopped by for a morning skate with Gord Stellick and Scott Laughlin on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio on Sirius XM Channel 91 to talk the keys to his success over the years and the challenge of getting to the Stanley Cup final 3 years in a row.
John, I'm going to ask you to be a little bit self-analytical and, being in the business that you're in and knowing how successful you've been and what drives you and motivates you. What do you think has been the key to your success over the years? I mean, every league you've been in, you've won, you've had the staying power, and you've had all kinds of championship pedigree. If you say, hey, look, I'm still going strong, I'm still chasing another ring, what is it that keeps you going, and what is it in particular that you feel has made you as successful as you've been?
I would say there's a couple things. Internally, it's the fire is still burning. I think that first and foremost is the biggest thing. When you lose your passion for it, and I've watched it happen to people.
Batman's dead. What happened to Batman?
So that passion is first and foremost the big thing. I would sit here and say on the other
I haven't posted it yet, but I picked up cherry cola the other day. And how was it? What do you give it out of 10?
So Julian Breezewell was my general manager of the minors and now the NHL. So we've been together for how many years? We had Steve Eisenman in the early part of that, and he kind of was like the mentor. He was the actual one that brought me in, but we've had that stability. Only 2 GMs, but both of them work together. We've had one owner, one coach, basically, since I've been there, one captain, and it's this core group of guys that have all stuck together. And I think we're kind of, I don't know how to explain it, you kind of past the coach-player relationship that we've been there for so long, and we all just have this common goal of what we need to do. And a lot of time I'm passionate with the group of guys we have, and Julian's done a great job of kind of filling in. And when I say fill in, it's like getting the Nick Pauls, getting the Brandon Hagels, guys that are still long-term guys but that weren't, drafted into our system, and it's we've been really fortunate that it's worked out the way it has. But I truly believe the stability, the belief, and the passion of the same group of people that have been together, and that's what's really helped us. It takes its toll both physically and mentally, and I give our players credit, to come back and make the playoffs next year. But now we've been one and done for 2 years. We've had some breaks. We've had a little bit of turnover, and we need to get back. We need to get back to those, making some runs in the playoffs. And but I will sit here and say, I'd be remiss to say, those years.
Save some green, roll with yellow. Take advantage of big cashback offers now on Premier Bail.
Your favorite games. Don't miss a second of your favorite SiriusXM programming on demand with the SiriusXM app. Download it now for free.
I'm Frank Cotton.
Carolina Hurricanes hockey is presented by Lenovo and is brought to you by Pepsi, Spectrum, UNC Health, Vector Security, North Carolina Education Lottery, Harris Teeter, Gia.
All right, sorry about that.
You're listening to the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yes, I did. I did try one. I had a little lemon lime one. It didn't taste bad. I also had a root beer one, and that one was like actually big. The lemon lime one was kind of like a juice, and then the root beer one was like a big can, and it was like carbonated, and that was actually pretty good, I must say.
The Canes will finally put an end to the longest ever break between playoff series when they drop the puck in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Montreal Canadiens. Today marks 12 days since the Hurricanes last played that 3-2 overtime win in Philadelphia that put them into the third round of the playoffs for the third time in the last 4 seasons. And with it come the questions, all the demons brought back due to conference finals of yore. And sure, we can take it back to 2009 when the Hurricanes were swept by the Penguins. But why? Only one player in the series was even in the league that year. Jordan Staal, the Hurricanes captain, then with the Penguins, who was in his 3rd season at the time. He was the alternate captain of the Hurricanes 10 years later, when Carolina surprised the defending champion Capitals and the Islanders before being groomed out by Boston. More accurately, the 2 matchups with Florida, that matters. Each which saw the Canes with home ice advantage. Each ended painfully. In fact, last year's 5-game series loss wasn't nearly as competitive as the 2023 sweep, which had every game decided by 1 goal, including that epic 4-overtime crusher in Game 1. Truth is, the past doesn't really matter at all. This team isn't last year's team. This team might look the same to those who haven't paid close enough attention, but it isn't. This team is deeper, stronger in every way, with more ways to beat you than in past versions. And this team has been through it all, including a week-long layoff between rounds 1 and 2, and that didn't go too badly. We bring in Mike Beniscalco and Trip Tracy. 11 days off. I don't think it's going to matter in this series, but it might at the start. So let me start with you, Mike. What are you looking for as an indicator when we get going?
Passes, and can you connect them early? Because I think that's the one thing when you have the layoff, you can't simulate game speed.
Right.
As much as these teams practice it, the one thing that I love that Rod Brindamore did during the practices, it was the top defensive lines against the top offensive lines. So you keep sharpening those 2 sets the way you can. But I'll look for the passes. How crisp are they? Are they where they're supposed to be? And can they dictate the pace to Montreal instead of maybe Montreal coming out with that 10-minute burst that we could be expecting?
For me, it's getting on the body. And
within the structure of emphasizing offensive zone time, AG, Montreal Canadiens are going to pack it in defensively. So even shifts that you prioritize, even if it's on the outside in the Montreal zone, when I think about the Lane Hudsons of the world, Noah Dobson, when he was a New York Islander, the Hurricanes got physical on him, and he was not very effective when they did. You may, have had the break that you had.
Did I feel it? Not exactly. Like, yeah, I got like really thirsty from it afterwards. Like I drank it all, and then it was like I wanted to have another one. So it was kind of a different experience.
Tracy, give me a couple things that need to be better in this round to get to the next one.
Well, I'm going to go with the blessing of history to the 2002 conference final. Having the Hurricanes had just beaten the Montreal Canadiens in the second round, they were fueled really by the BBC line. Rod Brind'Amour, Eric Cole, Bates Battaglia, and the big line. At that time, Ron Francis, Jeff O'Neill, Sammy Kapanen, especially O'Neill and Francis, took over in the conference final. So, the Hurricanes are positioned where, they can beat you with four different lines. And I think the fourth line, I love the Jankowski extension between series, might settle his hands. Will Carrier's best series so far in the playoffs, route to winning a Stanley Cup, was a conference final as a Vegas Golden Knight against Dallas. I see that fourth line being an X factor, but with the privilege of history, is this the series? Sebastian Aho has always played well against Montreal, going back to the offer sheet. Seth Jarvis' first NHL hat-trick against the Montreal Canadiens. Svechnikov has had some big moments. Is this going to be the series where they emerge like the top line did in beating the Toronto Maple Leafs to go to your first ever Stanley Cup Finals in 2002?
Tripp mentioned Jeff O'Neill. Which Hurricane takes a puck in the eye to get themselves going?
Thankfully, guys wear visors.
They all have visors. Let me just jump on that one real quick. I'll say discipline. You can't go to the penalty box against this Montreal team. That's the one thing they can improve on.
5 power plays against per game through 8 games.
AG, Shane Gostisbehere, it's been eons, but his game 4 against Philadelphia was by far the best he's looked, both at even strength and on Carolina's power play.
I thank you, gentlemen. I look forward to what's coming up in about 10 minutes. And that, of course, is game 1. And we've got the lineups and a little bit more on the other side. This is Hurricanes Hockey on the Carolina Hurricanes Radio Network. Adam Golden Studio with my friend Patrick Day from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. I tell people all the time, every single company that I endorse, it's about customer service. You guys are amazing. What is the philosophy of Aluminum Company?
So for us, it's all about helping customers out, right? You want us to look around and see what windows are the worst, or if you need some doors and windows. We put together a package that works for the customer. There's no pressure. We absolutely try to help with financing options.
800-672-4348 or aluminumcompany.com.
This Memorial Day weekend, make plans to come to the first annual Hot Tub and Sauna Expo, sponsored by Atlantic Spas and Billiards. Factory rebates and discounts for Hot Spring, Caldera, Saratoga, and Free Flow Hot Tubs. Huge savings on Kilo saunas and endless pool swim spas. Lowest prices of the year and an extra large selection of hot tub and saunas, swim spas, and even cold plunges. The Hot Tub and Sauna Expo, located at 8721 Glenwood Avenue, Raleigh, 1 mile from RDU Airport on Highway 7. Relax, rejuvenate, and save.
He's setting up the play at Penn Station East Coast Subs.
Can I get a 6-inch hot grilled Italian sub?
He shoots.
Should I grab a bag of chips?
Nope, all our subs come with fresh cut fries.
He scores.
Everybody wins at Penn Station East Coast Subs with hot grilled subs for pickup or delivery. Fresh cut fries, 5 convenient triangle locations. You're set up for a great meal any day when you do it the Penn Station way. Check out the menu and order online today at penn-station.com. Adam Gold inside Lenovo Center, getting you ready. Hurricanes, Canadiens, round 3, game 1. Can't be more of a contrast between these teams when it comes to how they've arrived at this point. Montreal's gone the distance twice. Canes have faced the minimum. Canes have outshot their opponents in all 8 games. Montreal been on the low end of that chart 10 out of 14 times. Canadiens have scored 43 goals, but they've allowed 38.
You'll have to check it out because you open it and you haven't tried it yet.
2 sweeps.
Yeah, I'm curious what you have to say about it.
13-52. 7 for their last 19, however, against the Sabres. Carolina just 5 out of 37. That's 13.5%. 74.1%, have actually allowed more power play goals than they have scored. But I wouldn't put Carolina's 95% in harm's way too many times. Montreal is next level good on the power play. Canadians also have 16 different players who have scored goals this postseason, 11 with at least 2. Carolina, who had 11 double-digit scores on the season and 7 with at least 20, have just 5 players with at least 2 goals in the playoffs. And if you kick out the 2 empty netters, it's just 4. Might be time for the Owl line to enter the chat. Injuries and scratches now, brought to you by UNC Health, official healthcare provider of the Carolina Hurricanes. Goaltender Pyotr Kochetkov, forwards Jesperi Kotkaniemi and Nick Delorier, and defenseman Mike Riley are healthy extras. Now we get to the lineup. Sebastian Ramos, Seth Jarvis, and Andrei Svechnikov. Man, I pointed this out. If you take away the 2 empty net goals, Aho, Jarvis, and Svechnikov have combined for just 7 points. Combined in 8 games. That's less than each of Stanko and Hall and Blake, who are Carolina's second line, and they have been scintillating. The captain, Jordan Stahl, centers Jordan Marknook and Nikolai Ehlers, Eric Robinson with Will Carrier, and Mark Jankowski. Jankowski with a new 2-year contract. On defense, Jacob Slavin and Jalen Chatfield, Keandre Miller and Sean Walker, Shane Gostisbehere, and Alexander Nikishin. Frederick Anderson in net. He has simply been outrageous. 8-0, 950 save percentage.
Right now, you're going to go do the old-fashioned bowl. Yeah, that's my preferred method. That one seems to hit the best. So, yeah. But, yeah. The beverage I had was alright. That root beer one was memorable. It was really tasty, too. It was like a good drink, not just a good one of those kind of drinks.
But it would help. It would quiet the restlessness of people. And Carolina needs to get started. Have a good game tonight and see if they can take a 1-0 lead in the series. Mike Maniscalco and Trick Tracy. They will take it from here when we come back. Game 1, round 3, Eastern Conference Finals. I am Adam Gold. This is the Carolina Hurricanes Radio Network.
Dauntless Transmissions has been the trusted transmission shop in Raleigh for more than 27 years. But why do they call it Dauntless Transmissions? Well, dauntless means showing fearlessness and determination. Now, the experts at Dauntless Transmission are dauntless when it comes to caring for...
How many milligrams? You know, that much I don't know. And I don't remember the percentage either, because it was probably about a year ago. I just remember it didn't really taste that bad. Like, it actually tasted pretty good. So I'd have to get you the stats for that one, because yeah, I don't quite remember that, unfortunately. Okay. They're new around 5 a can, and they have 4 different brands. And they had one, it was like 21. If I'm going to spend 21 on drink, I might as well just go and buy Yeah, no, I think it's gimmicky. Like, you have to think of it like this. It's for people who want to experience it, but have like lung issues, right? Like respiratory problem or asthma. Like, naturally, an asthma person can't smoke, right? So they'd have to use an edible or drink a beverage.
We put together a package that works for the customer. There's no pressure.
Yeah, I read you. I dig what you're saying because yeah, it's kind of gimmicky when they put it like that.
Can I get a 6-inch hot grilled Italian sub? He shoots. Should I grab a bag of chips?
Nope, all our stuff come with fresh cut fries.
He scores! Everybody wins at Penn Station East Coast Subs with hot grilled subs for pickup or delivery. Fresh cut fries. 5 convenient triangle locations. You're set up for a great meal any day when you do it the Penn Station way. Check out the menu and order online today at penn-station.com.
When sleep isn't working, everything feels harder. Your health, your patience, your focus, even your relationships. I'm Megan Giglin with Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Too often, people are told to wait months or even years just to talk to a sleep specialist, but untreated sleep problems don't wait. At Parkway, care begins within weeks with home sleep studies and fast coordinated support so people can move forward instead of staying stuck. Better sleep changes everything.
Parkway Sleep, your fastest path to better sleep. Start today at parkwaysleep.com. Sound sleep, sound health.
Life's great stories are built on yes and. Yes to the big game and the private suite. Yes to the
Try it probably within the next couple days.
Yes to traveling the country and exploring new ones. With the new Millionaire for Life from the North Carolina Education Lottery, you can say yes to $1 million now and every year for a lifetime. Millionaire for Life. Winning is just the beginning. Drawing 7 days a week. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds.
Yeah, the first one I had, it wasn't like a carbonated one. It was just like a little tiny, it might have been like, maybe even like 50 milliliters. It was small. And then I don't remember the milligrams. And then I had another one. The other drink I had was like a, kind of like in a Red Bull style can. It was like skinnier and a little bit longer. And yeah, I don't remember the cost. I apologize, and I don't remember the percentage. I just remember it actually tasting good. It didn't taste like weird at all. It actually tasted like root beer. So yeah.
The Carolina Hurricanes taking on the Montreal Canadiens. It's been 12 days since we've been on the air, Trip Tracy. But for the Carolina Hurricanes, they know that if they keep doing what they've been doing, if they get 12 wins, they'll be that much closer to the ultimate goal of the Stanley Cup. How do they get there and how do they start tonight?
Well, you just start with a start. And, simplicity in your game. Play north. And don't know, because practice hockey, even though the Hurricanes have scrimmaged quite a bit, it's nothing like game hockey. So you want to make sure you're direct. You want to make sure that your puck management has an emphasis.
Good evening, everyone. Just tuning in with us here. We are just getting ready for face-off and puck drop between the Montreal Canadiens and the Carolina Hurricanes in this Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final.
We are moments away from starting the Eastern Conference Final.
We will be hearing the anthems soon enough, I think.
Who has been centering the hottest line in the postseason will take the draw. And here we go. The Eastern Conference Finals underway, and the Canes win the draw. This will be flipped high into the Canadian zone. Taylor Hall goes out.
Here we go.
What a postseason. He's having a chance under foot. Blake shoots, and Dobish makes the save. Hall takes the body. Puck still loose. Davidoff tries to clear it. He'll get a little bit.
Carolina's got it. Montreal zone.
Goes in an early icing against Montreal. What a way to start game 1.
Carolina with an early chance. Dobish with the save, and Montreal clears the puck for an icing.
Well, the line that has been carrying Carolina offensively, Rod starts with Hall, Stankoven, and Blake. Hall with heaviness below the goal line draws 2 Montreal players, and that allows the puck support of Jackson Blake to have an avenue to the front of the net. He tries to beat Dobish low.
Oh, yeah.
And Dobish equal to the task, staying square in his butterfly as he moves from right to left.
Yeah, I'm just reading that one. That's the scary part, too. So good. You just down it. When it's hot outside in 30 minutes, you're wandering around in the woods, or wandering around the woods, looking around. Yeah, they make you thirsty, too. Like, it'll taste good for... Oh, and we have a goal already. Carolina is already on the board. It is 1-0. 33 seconds. And this place in Raleigh is just going crazy.
Once upon a time, Seth Jarvis had his first NHL hat trick against the Montreal Canadiens. And after that really good shift from the Stankoven line to set the tone, offensive zone draw, Rock goes with the Aho line. Keandre Miller kept the
Damn, look, chat, where is everybody? Yeah, I don't know. Busy, I guess. People were working late, I don't know.
Svechnikov put it on a tee for Jarvis, and he wired it beyond Jarvis.
So there you go. Jarvis from Svechnikov. Only his second of the postseason. A little bit surprising because we know what Jarvis can do. And there you go. Before they know what's going on, the Slavkovsky Suzuki Caulfield line has just come back. Caulfield with a goal. And he's been kind of hot and cold this playoffs. He's come up with some goals when he needed them, though. And that's a big goal right there. And this arena just goes hush. And it is like a brand new game already. And we are not even 2 minutes in. One shot, one goal. This game is 1-1, ladies and gentlemen.
To allow Suzuki and Slavkovsky to go to work. And Carolina had a complete defensive zone coverage breakdown, leaving Caulfield, the guy you don't want to leave all alone in front of the net. Anderson looked like he lost a bit of his footing, so he couldn't really challenge the shot. But that was not defensive zone coverage that we're used to seeing from Carolina against that top Montreal threesome.
The Canes have the lead for exactly 26 seconds now. Another turnover here. This time it's Montreal.
Here we go. That lead lasted exactly 26 seconds.
Just wide of the left post of Jakub Dovic. Carolina trying to keep it in. Knocked out. Alexander Nikishin. Center ice, he'll flip one in it. Dovic has to body into the corner. Making a play after his heel.
And this crowd is trying to stay motivated, and they're getting behind their team again, chanting, "Let's go Canes."
Anderson comes out. He'll have to play that one away from Josh Anderson.
Well, that's wild, but that's the first time that Frederick Anderson has been scored upon in a game one of these Stanley Cup playoffs.
And that's what they're saying right now is that Frederick Anderson, this is the first time he's been scored on in the game one.
Monday night. It's been a bit of an adventure here in the first 2.5 minutes.
Stankoven now trying to make a play in between the blue lines. He does from Alex Newhook, who's having an unbelievable postseason.
Alex Newhook has had the hot hand this playoffs.
12 left in the first. If you're just joining us, one, where have you been? And two, you've missed 2 goals. One by Carolina, one by Montreal. It's 1-1 here in the first.
Well, Montreal scores in the forecheck, and then on the rush, Carolina just did not decipher where Texier, the Montreal forward, was going with the puck to a streaky Bolduc on the outside. But that's encouraging for Frederick Anderson to immediately make a big save.
Allez les Canadiens de Montréal. Très bien, Savard, mon ami, bienvenue, merci beaucoup, and thank you for being here this evening.
Save made there by Dovic. Canes get possession late to Stankoven down the right wing boards.
Allez, Montréal. Allez, Montréal. Allez, Montréal.
Navigate this one into the hurricane zone. Boards, and Anderson comes out to trap this way to play it up. Along the boards, not handled there, but a second chance by Slavin. That'll be taken away. Davidoff sends it across, and it almost tic-tac-toe play, but Evans tied up at the last second.
Davidoff again, who's been dangerous. We know what he can do.
And he doesn't. That's everything but a tap in. So that's a nice bounce for Carolina. Evans, who's had a great playoff, to miss that gaping net on that puck movement play.
This puck played out by Carolina. They'll skate this to safety. As Jarvis, the goal scorer, will get this across the blue line, but no further. Montreal in control. And Krasovkovsky brings this one around the boards. Walker tries to get a body to it. It'll pop free. The Canes can skate it out. They have numbers if they hustle. Aho with it. He'll peel it off for Svechnikov. Right wing boards trying to send it across, but
Aho with it now into Montreal zone, takes a shot. That's going to go off target.
These are just the penalty to Montreal. Sean Walker lost his footing just outside the Montreal blue line. Announcement coming.
both doors open.
Oh, 2 penalties, offsetting minors. Minor penalty, interference, and the other one is minor penalty for embellishment.
Counter happened just outside the Carolina blue line. I mean, Suzuki was trailing the play. When I look at was Sean Walker guilty of interference, that's interesting because I'm not even sure that he knew Suzuki was coming. That's an early message from Jean Hebert that anything approaching.
Oh, and don't look now. But it looks like we're just waiting for this.
Montreal, their first lead of the series. So far, when you think about rust, partner, it's been how Carolina has been dialed defensively or lack thereof. That's been the one rusty element.
Aho waved out of the face-off circle. So Jarvis will take it. It's on Jarvis with Chatfield and Slayton before out for Carolina. Alexander Carrier. Now here's a chance on a break and through the score.
There you go. Philip Deneau. Short-handed.
And Montreal has a 2-1 lead.
And if you are the Carolina goalie right now, you have got to clean up your act a bit, just a bit. 2 goals on 4 shots. Montreal is in the lead, and that power play has just backfired on Carolina.
Jacob Slavin decided to pinch and play with pressure in the neutral zone. And Josh Anderson makes a heck of a play.
Did I say I'm taking wild turkey shots? No, but I would. I would take some wild turkey shots. Just a couple. Just a couple because I'm a lightweight. But yeah, I dip into that. Dip into a little bit of that.
There's now 15:45 left here in the first, and Montreal with a 2-1 lead here at Lenovo Center. It's still 4-on-4 for the next minute 34. Montreal's in this.
No, we're back to 4-on-4. About a minute 30.
The first offering by Anderson was stopped by Anderson with an E, and then he'll get a whistle.
Frederick Anderson cannot slow this game down enough at this moment. You know, I think at this point, you got to get yourselves to the first commercial timeout and then reset. Josh Anderson gets into his feet. Josh Anderson has had a super play. When you look at how he played the Buffalo series, and you know, I don't think that the Canadians have a ton of heaviness up front. Anderson provides that, and it's complemented by the fact that he can really skate.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. If you're just tuning in, it is Eastern Conference Game 1 between the Montreal Canadiens and the Carolina Hurricanes. Canadians have just scored moments ago to go up 2-1 on a shorthanded goal by Philip Deneau.
15:32 left here in the first. We got some fireworks. Montreal wins the draw, and Lane Hudson has it. He knocked and sent towards Anderson. Frederick Anderson will clear that one away on the Demidov wrister. Into the corner it goes. Now we play back. A chance for Dobson. He'll hand it off. And there'll be a chance for Hudson. Hudson will be knocked to the ice. He'll lose the puck, but it'll be kept in. Good play by Dobson. Hudson has it blocked by Svechnikov. And Carolina has a chance to clear. The rolling puck. Nikishin sends it rink wide. Svechnikov. He'll move it down the left wing boards. He'll snap a shot. Kovic makes the save. Rebound.
Carolina controlling right now.
For Lane Hudson. Hudson plays it up for Evans.
Montreal coming out with it.
Slower pace here. We still have 35 seconds left to 4-on-4.
35 seconds left at the 4-on-4.
is full.
Now Montreal will slide this one to the neutral zone. It'll be handed off and a snapshot will be cut as Anderson gets the glove to that, and he'll hang on the Texier offer.
Montreal's quick, aren't they? I mean, they're in a groove. You know, after winning in 7 games on the new hook overtime winner Monday night.
This Montreal team can be deceptive. As soon as they look like they're being outplayed and they're on the ropes, they'll do something like tie the game or score shorthanded. They are tricky to deal with, and Carolina has been a solid team now for a few years going, and they've just been getting better.
Maybe in the Ottawa and Philadelphia series, you know, he would have kept play moving along.
Face off now to the right of Frederick Anderson. And now Newhook will be still leading the face off.
The linesmen with the boots so far, they are sending a message.
So it'll be Texier against Stahl, Jordan Stahl. And win this one, he'll get some help to skate it out. Good play there by Chatfield. He'll hand it off for Ehlers. Ehlers drops it for Stahl into the Montreal zone. His shot will be deflected, and it'll go to the boards and find its way to Newhook. Alexander Carrier was able to get the stick in front of it. Now Evans snaps a pass. We're back to 5-on-5. Suzuki and Walker out of the box. Now Ehlers.
All right, Suzuki and Walker out of the box. We're back up to even strength.
Slavin will survey the scene and allow Carolina to change up the forward group.
Carolina's going to get a line change. Carolina still controls the play. Aho dumps it in. Caught by Dobesh, and he's going to hold it, and we're going to get a face-off here.
That was one touch from Aho at the Montreal blue line, so this is a break for the Hurricanes. They can choose their face-off dot. This is why you're not going to the commercial break, and Sebastian Aho will choose his power side. This is a real opportunity for the Aho line and company in what would have been a commercial timeout.
Aho wins it back from Miller. Miller redirected out in front by Aho, saved Dobish. Aho's rebound.
Miller with a shot, big save, Dobish. Suzuki's got it. Slipkowski with a shot. Save made by Anderson.
Picked up and handed off. Ambling with it. Jarvis will go cross corner for Svechnikov. Can he get there?
Svechnikov with the chance.
Stick played, and Montreal can clear it out.
Montreal clears it.
The game zone. He'll lose it. Excellent defensive play made there by DeAndre Miller. He'll just dump this one back in the Montreal zone.
And that shifted was the Suzuki line against the Aho line. Let's see if that continues or Brendan will replace the Stahl line against that top Montreal forward pairing.
Anderson tries to clear it out, but that was knocked down by Bolduc. Good play by Goss's pair, but the Kings couldn't clear. But second attempt, Nikisha will flip it out. Hudson be challenged here. Here's a chance. Robinson. Knuckle puck finds his way back out in front for Carrier. And he's got a big hit on Lane Hudson behind the net. Loose puck.
And don't look now, but it is 3-1. Goal, Montreal. Alexander Texier, assisted by Philip Deneau and Caden Gooley.
Get physical on Lane Hudson. That should be a point of emphasis. They've been on the doorstep the whole playoffs. Good shift there.
8 games this postseason for Will Carrier, 48 hits in those previous 8 games for the Stanley Cup winner with Vegas back in 2023. Now Slavin in his own zone, plays around for Chatfield. He takes a heavy shoulder, and Montreal to the loose puck. It'll be hammered out in front. They score. Alexander Texier from the slot, and it's
From the slot, 3-1.
Here at a stunned Lenovo Center, Montreal
And
in the lead.
the people here at the Lenovo Center in Raleigh have gone dead quiet.
Puck movement has been more precise.
3-1.
More battles. I do think the Montreal Canadiens
Montreal looks confident.
in their ability to come up with 50-50 pucks, you know, on the walls. And
Batman got shot, help me.
get a puck down to
No, Batman, no.
on his offside. The Slavin and Chatfield pairing, who have been elite in the first 2 rounds.
Save some breathe, roll with yellow. Take advantage of big cashback offers now on Premier Bailey's. Or choose 0% financing for up to 36 months. Find your nearest Premier dealer down the road or online.
eligible Canadians pay for groceries and essentials. Learn more.
For Miller, long pass up the left wing boards will be deflected by Stankoven, but that's going to be icing on Carolina. With 11-14 here in the first and a 3-1 Montreal lead over the Hurricanes.
You know, Mike, if you were in the trenches of a series, I don't put any of the 3 Montreal goals on Frederik Andersen. I don't. Not even at all. If you were in the trenches of the series, you might think about changing momentum, getting Bussy some work. But now that Frederik Andersen has been off like the rest of the team for as long as they have, you know, you gotta make sure.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. One thing that we should mention is that Carolina was sweeping their opponents, has had a lot of time off to rest, and Montreal has had virtually 2, maybe 3 days. I don't know, someone can check on that, but they've played 2 series of Game 7s that have played 14 games, where Carolina played 8 games and then had a big rest, and that might have something to do with this. Andersen has conceded 3 goals on 10 shots, giving him a .700 save percentage, which is not great. Martin Hook, with a chance, saved Dobesh, and this Carolina team is dangerous. We know that.
He will settle it here. 10:20 to go here in the first. Aho lets it go for Martin Hook. Martin Hook off of the end boards. It banks off of the Montreal net. Trying to make a play with it is Alexander Carrier. Able to work this one for Hudson. And Bolduc with it now. His pass goes through the legs of Doc. Svechnikov will take it. He'll turn with speed into the Montreal zone. Flip back. Jarvis Drake. Save again. And it's saved by Dobish.
He went for the same shot location to Jarvis that he scored his goal with early in the game. Svechnikov has been Carolina's best player. He's a guy that has shown no rust when there's been rust across the board.
Well, Jarvis with it now. At the face-off circle, and that is underneath the legs of Dobish, who drifts way out of his crease.
And Carolina pressing now, close chance there.
The puck was
Masada's dying.
There's no solution.
as play resumes, Carolina.
All right, everybody, we're back. I apologize for interruption.
Has a little trouble with it.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening.
Kept in by Martin. Get it to Ehlers behind the Montreal net. That's intercepted. It will be flung into the Kane zone. Anderson has to play it. Goss to spare. There's some heavy pressure on Montreal. This Deneau line has been really good with Anderson and Texier. As far as getting in on the Canes defense when they get the puck in deep.
This is the best I've seen Josh Anderson play in several years. He changes the look of their line. Was featured on that line.
New hook leads Montreal with 7 goals, throws this in the game zone, but that's icing with 8:50 remaining here in the first period. So this draw coming all the way back into the Montreal zone.
You know, you look at Dobish, who has been as big of a story as there has been in the entirety of the Stanley Cup playoffs through 2 rounds. You know, he has a really good feel for the game, but at times it does feel like he challenges so much that if you hold on to the puck for an extra split second, you're going to catch him in no man's land.
We'll see if that can play out. Because right now they play on Miller. They play it
Holy crap. Holy crap. It is 4-1 Montreal. Demidov, who's been dangerous in this series, has got one to make it 4-1. And that is, I believe, another shorthanded goal. Just wait. Now, Carolina looks like they're definitely suffering from not playing recently, and you may want to consider a goalie change at this point. Anderson letting in 4 goals on 10 shots that's like Stuart Skinner type material. You know what I'm talking about. You say something in the chat, because Skinner not only was horrible in Edmonton, he lost it for Pittsburgh too, and I stand by that statement. I am just shocked right now. We are not even 3/4 of the way through this first period, and it is 4-1. We've had 5 goals on not even 20 shots overall between both teams and the goalies. And yeah, it's gonna be a shootout, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned.
we've seen all year, Triple.
And we're back.
It's a 50-50 puck and trying to create offense that way. Got a couple of looks. Right now, it's Hudson with it. At the left point, he'll dance with it. Walk the line on his backhand, feathers it out in front, but played away by Anderson, and Suzuki waved at it. Slavin gets it up to Ehlers.
Well, Montreal is quick.
And Anderson finally makes a save.
I mean, the master of the obvious point so far, especially when you look at Carolina defensively, a team that relies on cohesive pressure that you can't simulate games in practice because it's been way off, especially defensively here in the first period.
Carolina will get control of this puck as it's late. Send this one in. Chance a grab shot is deflected away as Walker had the look. Jarvis needs it from Miller down the left wing boards. He'll get it to Blake. Dropped here for Jarvis. Jarvis works his way to the middle.
Okay, now we got a 5-on-4 power play for about 17 seconds.
Glove save made and hangs on to it is Jakub Dobic, who has
Saved by Dobic, and he's going to hold it.
Jarvis been perfect since.
Yeah, that was a quality glove save, and Sean Walker had the shot. His partner, Keandre Miller, was in proximity to taking away Dobic's eyes. It was a bit of a timing screen. He departed the scene at the last second that allowed Dobic to locate it, make the save with his glove, and hold on.
6:22 left here in the first. 4-1 Montreal. That is the correct score. As the Canadiens have come out after surrendering the first goal 33 seconds in. Come back with 4 in a row. Now, nice play at the team's blue line to deny here by Slavin. And resetting here is Slafkovsky. Get this in deep, trying to work around Chatfield. Does it all the way around. Dobson goes cross corner with it, hits pass off the mark. Slafkovsky leaves it for Suzuki. Out of the box comes Aho as the abbreviated power plays over, so both teams are 0 for 1 on the man advantage. Now a shot gets through by Dobson. Anderson makes the save up for Martin. He'll feed Aho out of the box.
And here they go. Carolina with it. Aho takes it, loses it.
There by Noah Dobson, the former Islander, who is familiar with this building in the postseason from his Islander days.
Yeah, and the Hurricanes in those series he played as an Islander, the Hurricanes were able to be physical on him.
Now Nikishin into the zone, hands it off for Hall. He'll get this back. Blake.
Hall with it, who's actually leading Carolina with points right now, which is surprising, but good on him nonetheless.
Well, Montreal gets it in for Bolduc. Bolduc goes across it, unable to connect. He's jumping in on that play was Oliver Kapanen. The team's coming back the other way. Steve Coven, he sends it across. Hall gets the shot through. Dobic makes the save, and then
Hall with a shot. Dobic makes the save.
4:55 left in the first period. Montreal has built a 4-1 lead over the Canes here.
4:55 left in the first. Montreal 4, Carolina 1.
Hurricanes hockey on the Canes Radio Network.
Your Harris Teeter grocery haul can earn you savings.
season, and Montreal had a start like this. And the Hurricanes eventually found their game. It took a while.
And as we get back to play here, Carolina gets a shot through, and second opportunity will be pinballed to the right wing boards. Now played down low. Here's Jankowski. Behind the net, Tierney with a stuck chance. Dobich makes the save. Jankowski cuts through the crease, trying to get a piece.
Carolina with some pressure now. Dobis with 2 big saves.
Jankowski comes up after Anderson had a little extracurricular for him.
Dobich on these wraparound from below the goal line to attacking to the front of the net. He is really good at locating and using his size to move low in his butterflies. So, you know, you go back to Jackson Blake's stuff chance on the first shift of the game. That from Will Carrier. There's no room low. You're just going to have to find elevation.
And Jankowski trying to win this draw here. Montreal will gain possession of the puck. Flip this high, but off of Anderson's back. It will settle down there for Deneau, and he goes rink wide. Able to work this one into the Canes' end. Matheson takes a hit, but makes the play to move it around the boards. Dobson shot. That misses everything. He goes into the net over the tall glass, and that'll stop play with 4:16 left.
And that one will go over the glass for a stoppage of play.
Walk West helps businesses get seen, heard, and cited. For more information about AI adoption and growth consultation services, visit walkwest.com.
You know, just to elaborate on that, game 1 of the first round of 2006, Montreal came in, they were already in playoff mode. Carolina was not. The Canadians blitzed the Hurricanes in game 1. In game 2, the blitz continued, and then the Hurricanes made a goaltending change, Gerber to Cam Ward. Canadians ended up winning in overtime. But that's when the Hurricanes started to find semblances of their game. You know, it's tough. In practice mode, or in that case, you were out of any type of game mode against a playoff tested team. And I see the similarities so far.
Dobich again goes out of his net to play. No giveaway along the boards to Ehlers. And his pass intercepted by Dobson, and Montreal can take this the other way. Trying to drag his way around Gostisbehere. Good play by Demidov. He's going to be a good one. He's already a good one. As the rookie has it right now. Demidov from the slide. He snipes one, but that's hung on to by Anderson, and he'll get the whistle with 3:44 left here in a 4-1 game. Montreal on top of Carolina.
Demidov, I thought took major steps within the 7 games against the Buffalo Sabres. You know, Marty St. Louis, Montreal's head coach, the Hall of Famer that he is, he's like Demidov the entire playoffs. In the first round against Tampa, and then against Buffalo, and it took him a while to get rewarded. And you can see right now, he's overflowing with confidence, including that beautiful deke on one of the Montreal goals in this period.
Now a chance here for Montreal. Slavkovsky in with the drop.
Save some green, roll with yellow. Take advantage of big cashback offers now on Vermeer Bailiffs. Or choose 0% financing for up to 48 months. Find your nearest Vermeer dealer down the road or online.
This ultimate most watering moment is brought to you by the Big Old.
Chatfield's down to pick up the puck. Jarvis's pass deflects, but right to Svechnikov, who tips it to Aho. With a little wrister that goes just
Svechnikov to Aho, who tips it. Goes wide. Chatfield with a chance.
Biggest bright spot for the Carolina Hurricanes in this
And they can't get it anything. And they have been unlucky
I'm
here.
going to say the biggest. I'm going to say the only bright spot. The fourth line's had some good looks too. You know, I think they could be an X factor, but you know, I talked to Sebastian Aho a couple of days ago, and you know, it reminded him.
Just over 2 minutes to go in this opening first period. And despite this large lead, we know not to trust a lead. It can be cut down very quickly, but otherwise Montreal looks to be in good shape in this first period.
To the left of Dobich. Stankoven will take it. About that one into the corner. He's trying to get a win against Deneau, but he's able to work it out, and Anderson with it. Anderson muscles his way into the Canes zone. Flipped across, and
That pass a little bit too much sauce for Texier. Coming the other way, it's Stankoven. He'll hustle into the Montreal zone, work his way behind the net. He'll play it up along the boards. It'll be kept in by Hall. That shot ricochets off of a leg. Then Hall with a big hit at the Montreal blue line and the loose puck.
All with a big hit, and he has come out to play these playoffs. He has proven that since he joined last year that he could be an asset to the team, even though he's a veteran at this point.
Trying to find Robinson. Eric Robinson will settle it. Get this one in deep. Janikowski plays a hit. Matheson tries to play this one around. He does as Robinson pressured him, but not a chance to keep it for Carolina. Robinson
Got clapped again. Man, it's a rough night.
over his blue line. Chip back into the King zone.
The pros are out tonight.
Goss to spare Will. He'll play it up for Stahl.
It's not amateur hour anymore.
Montreal zone. He'll take this one in deep. He'll get it right back. Stahl. Centering one out in front and trying to get to it was Ehlers. He was taken down. Fans want to call, not
Stahl with the center. Ehlers is taken down. No call. Crowd is going wacky.
This one deep in the King zone. Deflects out Anderson. And will play it off the glass for Ehlers. Ehlers to Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere in the Montreal zone. Backing off Hudson. His backhander deflects to the boards. Quick snapshot by Ehlers. That's handled by Dobish. And the rebound cleared by Montreal. Swatted into the King zone. Behind Anderson's net it goes.
That was a heck of a pass from Jordan Stahl along the goal line to Ehlers. Ehlers couldn't play it immediately on his stick, trying to go from his skate to his stick.
Now Jarvis leaves it for Chatfield. Aho with a big hit out in front.
Aho nailed somebody.
Svechnikov moving in. His shot. Just getting a piece of his Dobish. Rebound.
Svechnikov with the chance. Dobish with the save.
The Kings goal scorer in this game. And a loose puck picked up by Montreal. 48 seconds to go. Here in period number one. Montreal leading the Canes 4-1. A loose puck in the Canes end. That'll bounce right to Slafkovsky. Uri Slafkovsky, former number one pick from the 2024 draft. He's been outstanding with what he has done. The 22 draft. I beg your pardon. And this will be rolled back into the Canes in the half zone with 30 seconds left. Now Dobson absorbs a hit but gets it to Slafkovsky. Bouncing puck can't be settled down until it is at the blue line and sent across. Good play by Dobson to keep it in. 12 seconds left in the period. Can Carolina get a rush here? Montreal, Matheson trying to keep it in along the left point. He does. And taken down as Walker. Now you got a little stick battle out in front. Miller to the loose puck. He'll clear it. And that's how the first period comes to an end with Montreal up 4-1.
And that is going to do it for the first period. Montreal up 4-1, and this crowd is booing a little bit. They are not impressed.
With their pressure that has been so supremely effective, if it's a little bit off, it's way off. And that especially showed itself defensively. And the Montreal Canadiens are quick, they're in rhythm, they took advantage. The one bright spot for the Hurricanes in that tough first period, no doubt about it, as I mentioned, was the play of the line. They need to be a top line. The Aho line was good.
First period in the books coming up. Adam Gold will have our first intermission report. Montreal on top of Carolina. 4-1 after
First intermission, everybody.
The Eastern Conference Final. You're listening to NHL Playoff Hockey on the bonus games right from your phone. It's not
Got clapped again. Time to take a fiver. That's right. That is right. Snack time, bathroom time, stretch your legs time, rub your eyes time. Just give yourself 5 minutes. 5 minute break, or a 10 minute, or a 20 minute, whatever you feel like.
Inside Lenovo Center, 4-1 Canadian. The right guy scored, or at least the right line also produced that goal.
Yeah, what a weight off their shoulders, huh? You're thinking everything roses at that point. You got the Rust conversation out of the way, your top line's producing.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody in Lenovo Center was singing.
And then, what happened after that?
Oh my goodness. That was a well-prepared Montreal Canadiens
Yes.
team who looked like they are very much still in the flow of things.
Sure.
And they did a tremendous job of, I thought, of beating Carolina's pressure, moving in transition, capitalizing on their chances.
Yeah, and it seems like, well, it's not all the best guys that had it, but on that first goal, which really was a downer, 27 seconds after you make it 1-0, they have 3 players chasing 2 behind the Carolina net. That's, somebody's got to stay up. Somebody's got to, maybe it's Chatfield that needs to stay back and find Cole Caulfield, because that's not a guy you can let alone.
I think
think it even starts back in the attacking end, to be honest. You have three guys going and trying to forecheck the principle of the game, but you miss, they make you miss, right? Puck goes up, and then didn't love the. Obviously, there was no back check, right? Nobody coming to clear the front. You don't want to leave a young man who scored 51 in this league alone in front. You just can't do it. But yeah, that highlights it all right there. It's a game of inches. It just misses Jalen Chatfield's stick. It just misses Jacob Sladen's stick, and then all of a sudden it's the back.
Yeah, then 4-on-4, Carolina gets caught up ice. It's a 2-on-1. That's 2-0. I mean, I don't know if Shane Gostisbehere can get back, but he didn't either way, and he was the player caught up ice. Jacob Slavin on the ice for the first 3 goals.
We don't see that very often.
No, we do not. Is that defensive coverage? Can that be covered in rust?
I don't know. I'm sure you could nail it as such. However, I think for me, again, we were just talking about the first goal. I think it's kind of a game of inches situation. You're certainly, and I'm not presenting that you are, but you can't pin that solely on him, right? And then on their third and fourth goals as well. I mean, Caden Gooley beats Jackson Blake to a puck along the wall, and then Alexander Texier gets free in front. And the fourth goal is another example of Montreal moving a guy out to the neutral zone early. It's one touch, you've got a non-man rush.
Right.
Another touch, it's a breakaway. So it's got to be cleaned up.
Yeah, and Montreal is very good at getting the puck out of their own end. That's one of the things that they are excellent at, and that's the kryptonite to Carolina's forecheck. If you are adept behind your own goal of getting the puck out, especially with their high level of skill, and I still don't know on the fourth goal what Keandre Miller was thinking. Sean Walker didn't need the help. That's the thing. If Walker needed the help, I could get it. But again, yeah, Ivan Demidov, not a guy I'd leave alone.
Skill, speed, and smarts. And Montreal kind of showed all three, right? You mentioned it. You have to be smart enough to try to evade that pressure as it's coming in your own end. If you can move with speed to the neutral zone, and you have the skill to finish it off, that's a pretty darn good recipe. And Carolina got a taste of what, if they don't bring their A game, they got the taste of what they're going to be on the wrong end of the series.
Yeah, it's funny. Look, I know how people are processing this. Heck, some of Carolina's own fans are probably processing it the same way. Oh, here we are again. It's the East.
Catch everything soccer with Bell's Game Time Bundle.
What about every save? Every header? Tackle? Slide tackle?
Yeah.
That's taken away to center by Taylor Hall.
All right, everyone. Second period is beginning.
Dobson has got that off his look because they get stung.
Canadians chase it out to center ice. Here's Newhook with it. Tries to pass it off. That's wrenched away by Miller. And Taylor Hall goes the other way, crossing it on the line and just flings it toward Dobush, who catches that for the whistle.
More of the same from the Canadians as they go back into their own zone. They know that the pressure is coming heavily from Carolina, so the easiest thing to do is rather than have Carolina come at you north-south, try to get them to go east-west. We're seeing the Canadians catch the puck and immediately go cross ice with it. It's taken all of the sting out of the forecheck and allow the Canadians to get their legs underneath, get a couple of steps, a few strides, gain some momentum of their own as they head up through the neutral zone. We'll keep an eye on it and see if they continue on with this and if Carolina is able to counter.
Face-off win for Carolina. Chatfield, his shot for the point goes off the leg and wide. Texier will flip it back up through center. A little backspin allows Josh Anderson to catch it. In the Hurricane zone. It's taken away by Jordan Stahl. Thrown away at center, though, right to Alexander Carrier. Carolina back forward with Chatfield. He gets pulled over by Anderson. Jordan Stahl moves it out to center. The Canadians are right back on it. Anderson near side. To the hash marks. Looks behind the net. Picked off by Carolina. House get the forecheck going, though, as Josh Anderson gets bumped off the puck. Hurricanes to center.
Not often you can see Anderson there getting rocked on his heels. That's Stahl coming in. A big, heavy man.
Montreal deep in their own zone. Kaden Gooley lofted out to center. Spun around by Gostisbehere to the near side. And tipped in by Jarvis. Struble behind his own net. He's stapled to the end boards by Svechnikov. Gooley able to wrench it away, though, from...
Oh, don't look now.
Right through center. Slavkovsky after it. Nikisha gets there first. He'll spin around the boards. Canes through center. Aho left side. Stops. Passes off to Gostisbehere. Shane Gostisbehere. Looks down low behind the Montreal net. Suzuki.
They've got it behind the Montreal net.
Carolina Hurricanes get back on it. Suzuki gets it away again in the near corner. And the Habs stretch it up through center. Good pass off the far leg. Shot for Caulfield. Hit the iron and stays out off a sharp pass from Hudson.
Caulfield with the post. Carolina back the other way, and Carolina will score.
Eric Robinson on a nearly identical play. After Caulfield hit the post, Robinson goes the other way. His shot goes off the iron and in.
Can you believe it? It's a stretch pass for
Carolina finally catching a break here.
Off the left post, and as quickly as it goes down one way, it's the exact same pass cross ice up to Robinson, who makes no mistake. Tucks this puck short side under the bar. What a finish from Robinson. Goal number 1 for him for the postseason.
And just like that, it's 4-2 after it was almost 5-1. William Carrier gets the assist on that. And Eric Robinson, the former Princeton Tiger, has made it a 4-2 game in Game 1.
The government of Canada is bringing down your costs so you can get ahead. We're increasing the GST credit.
Rolls it ahead, broken up by the Hurricanes. Jackson Blake, right side over the line. Tried to skip it through the middle. Montreal back to center. Taken away by Stankoven. Far side, here's Ehlers. High shot. That one stopped by Domish. That was right off the cage. Side of the net, that rolls in on Domish. He's going to cover that up. And get the whistle. 15:44 to go in the second. 4-2 Montreal. The Hurricanes have some...
Dobesh is going to cover it and we'll get a whistle.
And rightly so, it's a much better start for Carolina in the second period. And we haven't mentioned Nicky Ehlers' name too often in the first with how the Canadians played. And I'm sure the Canadians would like to keep it that way. Nicky Ehlers can be a game changer. He's already got a couple of goals here in the playoffs, and he comes in down the left wing and hammers him off Dobesh's grill.
Hurricanes in the attacking zone. Swung down low. Stahl near side. Battles with Philip Deneau. Behind the net, Stahl tries to center. That goes through, and Canadians flop it out to center ice. Kane's back in. Not very far. It's picked off at center. Walker comes back in over the line. Back into the far corner for Montreal. 5 minutes gone in the first. 4-2 Canadians lead. Hudson drives through center. Near side, tried to center it. Cut off by Carolina. Can't get out of the zone though. Texier threw it back down low. Now the puck slides all the way back into the Montreal zone. They're going to call this icing on Carolina.
Icing on Carolina.
Settled down a little bit. There was no question that there was going to be a heavy pushback from Carolina. They find the goal that they were looking for, energize the building. They'll see if they can continue to build on this momentum.
Face-off, low hand side on Freddie Anderson. Controlled by Carolina. Ehlers spins it round. All the way up to center. Back into the Montreal zone. Gouley pressured by Jarvis. Alexandre Carrier is there for it. Spun all the way up through center. Trying to battle for it. Here's Suzuki. He's tied up though. And the Hurricanes get out to center. And a 3-on-2. As they pass it off, there's a shot for Jarvis. Save made by Domish as the puck goes out of play.
What we've seen from Carolina here, and it's partly Montreal's fault that they've given up on man rushes. It's always something that you want to do if you can, pile on that offense, but not at the expense of sacrificing defensive posture. We've seen the Canadians sacrifice it with the Caulfield line here as they give up a 3-on-2. Jarvis wires this shot and hammers Dobesh in the head. That's back-to-back shifts. We've seen it hit in the mask with pucks. The first one from Ehlers, the second one from Jarvis.
Nikishin off the draw from the line. Tried a little snapshot, didn't get it through. Canadians collect it. And come ahead to center ice. Matheson sweeps it in. Moved around to the far side. Back across the ice. Matheson looks to shovel it down low. That's cut off by Carolina. And flown out to center. Canadians play it back in. Goss is there behind his own net. 13:30 left in the second. 4-2 Montreal. As here goes Taylor Hall into the right side for the Canes. Drops it off. Nikishin in for the line. Tries to center it. Back to the point it goes. Shot is deflected. Nikishin right side now. Off the wing. Drops it back for Goss to spare. Through the slot, the shot is blocked, and it comes back out through center ice.
A nice player with Nikishin as he's coming back to get this puck. Missed a couple of games, the first two in the last series.
Nikishin moves it ahead for Walker. That's snapped in. Clean bill of health tonight for Carolina. Nobody out due to injury. There's Lane Hudson. Right side, forks it ahead to center ice. Dog spins away for a check. Rips it cross ice for Zach Bolduc. His shot deflects off of Walker, and it's gone up and out of play. That'll send us to a break here with 2:31 to go in the second period of game one. It's 4-2 after Eric Robinson's first of the Stanley Cup playoffs on Habs Hockey out TSN 690. The second period, the shots are 4-1 in the second.
I got to make chicken and waffles. Yeah. With some bacon. That sounds like an awesome breakfast. Some deep fried chicken, waffle, and bacon.
That was made available that allowed Robinson to get sprung loose and go in with it. Finish high on the left side.
Face-off Hurricane zone stall in versus Texier, and the Hurricanes draw it back. Carolina pick it up, snap it to center. Played in deep to the Montreal zone. Walker to the line, long shot. That's turned away by Jakub Dobin. Out the side of the net, puck is loose again. It'll be gathered by Nikolai Ehlers. Runs it high in the zone, little spin shot, rejected in front. Tipped down ice by Texier, and that'll be an icing call.
It just turns and this puck gets.
And we've got an icing call.
Gets turned over in the neutral zone. It's Philip Danault who's just looking to see if he can catch.
The waffles have to have peanut butter and chocolate chips on top, mounted, and then your fried chicken, and then crumble up your bacon and put it on top of everything. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm down with that. Yeah. 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 And of course, because of where I am, I'd have to put some maple syrup on it. But maple bacon is awesome, so that's that.
Shot does not make it to the net. Has pushed it all the way out through center. Slavin back to it. Carolina into the attacking zone again. Long drive from Chatfield, blockered away by Dovish. Canes gather control again at center. And in on the far side, a shot goes off the stick of a Canadian defenseman and high out of play.
You can see how quickly.
Shot goes off the stick of Canadian defenseman out of play, and we're going to get another face-off. So we're starting to see a repeat of what happened in the second encounter between these teams in the regular season, where Montreal won 5-2, but they were outshot 40-19. Montreal's winning 4-2 right now, and we're being outshot 21-14.
Face-off win.
Face off to the right of Dobish.
Trying to play it out to center, they can't. Stopped at the line.
Won by
Jackson Blake.
Canadians, but
Far side
Carolina will get it out.
Centers goes past Stankoven. Carried up high to the line. Here's Stankoven off his backhand. Little try. That's turned away by Dobish. And the Habs looking for Caulfield. There's puck at center. They might have a 2-on-1, but it's broken up by Miller. Corralled at center by Matheson. He'll back up into his own zone with 10:42 remaining in the second.
10:42 remaining in the second.
Suzuki. Bothered at center by Walker. Played to the line. Hurricanes moving right back down ice. Right side. Here's Taylor Hall. Works his way in.
Taylor Hall with it now, who surprisingly enough is the leading player on the Hurricanes for points in the playoffs.
Spin to the head to center ice. End of a shift here. Caulfield will just play it in deep.
Everybody's going for a change, but a missed opportunity. Save some green, roll with yellow. Take advantage of
Nikishin, his shot goes off the body. Hurricanes cycle it down low.
Nuts to the face. What are you talking about, nuts to the face?
He'll find Davidov, who will move it ahead, and the Canadians get up to center, and Gouley chips it in. 9 minutes to go in the second. Hurricanes are looking like the better team in the second period, but they're down 4-2. Nikishin has some trouble with it at center. They'll just flip it in on the backhand. Wayne Hudson on it. Hands it off as the Canadians zip it down ice. And first two will be Oliver Kapanen here, so no icing. Bolduc far side. Back to the line. Throws across ice, out of the corner. Settled down with the Habs. One time from Zach Bolduc ends up wide of the net. Canadians cycle it around. Comes back to center. Here go the Hurricanes on a breakaway. Jarvis can't put that home on Dobish.
Hurricanes on a breakaway, and Jarvis will miss the shot.
Now right
And
side, Chatfield's shot goes off the stick of Bolduc and wide.
the second period looks to be way better for Carolina, shaping up for what hopefully will be an interesting third.
And the Hurricanes will try and shoot it in. Right side, Chatfield able to do that. Hurricanes down low, back up the far side. Gordon Stahl gets to it. Far corner, Martinook. Cycles around. Stahl. Chased down by Jaden Struble. Hands it off. Walker to the net. Never got the shot off. Martinook with a try. That goes wide off the body. Hurricane center, can't get that to go. They work it around the zone. Center and try. Again, no dice for Sean Walker. Habs need to get it clear. To the line, it's held in. Stahl with a drive, and that won't go either.
Reynolds lost his stick.
Habs just lob it down ice. And this will go wide for icing.
Canadians unlucky in that last sequence. They're actually, as that puck gets lofted out of the ice, looked like it might have checked up just in time, but in fact makes it all the way down the ice. There will be no change for the Canadians.
And how many opportunities did the Carolina Hurricanes have
off that last shift. Just keep racking up the shots. And Philip Deneau, I think, has gone to the bench for a stick change. Gamesmanship as he comes back out. Canadians will be looking to get control as into the neutral zone, and it's a long change in the second period, as we know. But they do need fresh bodies.
Both Hudson and Struble have been on the ice for over 2 minutes. Hurricanes win the faceoff. Out of the slot, Blake, his shot redirects right off the glass. Down low, Deneau's got it. Pressured by Stankoven. Up the far side wing. Held in by the Hurricanes again. Here's Taylor Hall. Trying to get away from Lane Hudson. He's brought down by Philip Deneau. Hudson is on it. Trying to play it out. And he can't. That's knocked down by Stankoven. Stankoven right side. Center shot it coming. That's stopped by Dobich. Hudson trying to force it ahead. Texier finally rolls it to center ice. Habs need a line change here. They're going to get it. Gets a couple bodies. It's given away here to Josh Anderson. He'll drop it off. Suzuki back to the net. And a kick save is made by Freddie Anderson. Hurricanes snap it around to the near side. So 5 fresh skaters on the ice right now for Montreal.
Josh Anderson finally able to get back to the bench. And Caulfield's over now.
Taylor Hall, far corner.
Lots of high danger opportunities as well.
Shots 22-15.
All right, everyone. Sorry about that.
Carolina. As we'll face off in the Hurricane zone.
We got to face off in the Hurricane zone.
It's going to be Aho, Jarvis, and Svechnikov for the Hurricanes. Habs get a clean win. Far side board.
Habs win the draw.
Trying to spin away from Keandre Miller. Long shot. That's redirected on the way to Freddie Anderson. He's able to make the chest save and cover up.
Shot on Freddie Anderson. It'll hit him in the chest, and he's going to cover it for another face-off coming up here.
Into the net where Newhook has been buzzing around. Newhook just an incredible series against the Sabres. He's looking to get going here in Carolina.
Hurricanes win the D-zone face-off. And snap it around the near side all the way up to center. In the Montreal zone, Svechnikov tangled up with Lane Hudson. Far corner, Svechnikov wins it for Jarvis, trying to feed Sebastian Aho in front. It goes all the way to the point for Walker. Sean Walker dishes off to Aho. His wrist is blocked. Back to Gooley, and that's knocked away from him, out of play.
And out of play again for another face-off.
His hands on Hudson, he's going to run him through the glass. But give Svechnikov credit. Listen, he's a tremendous offensive talent, but coming into the game tonight, he was tied with Stahl for the amount of hits for forwards, coming in with 32. Had at least 3 or 4 on that last shift alone.
Just 1 assist in the Flyers series for Aho through 4 games. Had 3 goals against Ottawa in round 1. Hurricanes win the ozone face-off. Chatfield rolls it down low. Loose on the near side. First to it is Uri Slavkovsky. Taken away, though, by the Hurricanes. Played right back around. Tipped through into the slot. Barnett with a drive. That ends up wide. Back off the right side, Slavin. Wants it down low. Kaden Gooley ties up Morton. And the puck comes loose for Suzuki. He'll push it ahead. Not out. Canes hold it in. Centering try for Jordan Stahl. Just missed. And now Slavkovsky safely ahead to center for Suzuki. Right side. Canes territory. It's moved back behind the Hurricane net. Here's Slavkovsky. Down to the ice with Chatfield. Taken away by Carolina. As they'll advance to center ice, it's played in off the boards. 3.5 to play in the second. 4-2 Montreal lead. Matheson up the center ice, tipped in. Maybe not. They're going to call this icing on Montreal.
I like to play with Matheson as you start to feel the pressure coming in. Matheson just rifles his puck around the.
Save some green, roll with yellow. Take advantage of big cashback offers now on Premier Bailiffs. Or choose 0% financing for up to 48 months. Find your nearest Premier dealer down the road or online.
This ultimate most watering moment is brought to you by the big, old, ultimate taste of ultimate chicken hot dogs. Only from Maple Lodge Farms. Unfortunately, as his puck gets up to the red line, stick gets lifted and ends up going all the way down the ice. But the right play by the Canes is they try to find your way through physically is one thing, but if you can pass past the first line of forecheck, you can always find yourself in a better position.
Face off to the blocker side on Dobish. Puck goes all the way up to center. And it's going to be whistled down as the Canadians try to carry it in. 3:13 to go in the second period of play. Still 4-2.
3:13 to go in this second period.
Adams Hockey on TSN 690.
And it's only the one goal that you just mentioned by Robinson in the first period. It was the Canadians piling it on. So the question is, does Montreal have enough left to get out of this, or does Carolina?
Carolina has had a better second period, but they've gotten a little bit of It's been a slower second period overall. The tempo's been slowed down, even with Carolina having a better period.
Goal scoring, the Habs answered less than a minute later. Foreign answered in the first period. It was a wild start to this conference final.
Just incredible. You know, you're getting it from it's great to get Caulfield on the board if you're the Montreal Canadiens, and you find Dano and Texier in there as well.
Hurricanes trying to center it. Comes to the right side for Robinson. To the line. Miller's shot. Blocked in front. Down low for Mark Jankowski. Spills out to the front of the net again. This time handled by Josh Anderson to center. Canes get it, and they'll loop it right back into the Montreal zone. Josh Anderson trickles it in near side to the corner. Texier tied up with Sean Walker. Texier under pressure. Throws it through to the net. That's bouncing around in front. Now cleared out through center ice by the Hurricanes.
Freddie Anderson's not waiting for that puck to get fed in from that area. And Texier very nearly finds a rebound in front for Anderson.
This is popped up by Montreal in their own zone. Long try for Taylor Hall. Still loose at the side of the net. Dobish never saw it, but the Hurricanes can't find it to poke it in. Canadians to center with Newhook. Played it near side. Hurricanes on it. And Freddie Anderson's going to be forced to cover it up.
Well, there's a bit of a hip check coming in from Davidoff.
There was a chance just a moment ago, JP, for Carolina.
Yeah, indeed it was. As it comes in, it gets behind Dobesh, just trickles past the short side post on Dobesh's blocker. You can hear the reaction from the crowd. And in turn, Dobesh trying to scramble back to the goal line.
.141 to go in the second period. Still 4-2 Montreal lead. Face-off blocker side on Anderson. Suzuki in for Montreal, and he wins it back to Mike Matheson. Matheson, weak shot, stopped in front. Hurricanes playing off the boards. Habs hold it in. Here's Dobson. Back to the side, almost able to connect with Caulfield. Instead, it's in the far corner. Slavkovsky battles for it with Jalen Chatfield. Puck comes loose for Carolina. They'll skate it to center ice. Canadians will pick it up. Gets away from Caulfield. Carolina tip it right back in the other way. Dobson into the end boards hard under pressure from Jarvis. Near side Aho. All the way up to the blue line. Drops it off. Gosh's pair. Through the middle with Richter. Bouncing around in front. It's covered up by the glove hand of Jakub Dobish. And he takes some contact in front here. There's a big pile up in the blue paint.
Well, that was Gosh's pair as he feeds this puck in from the blue line. And it's exactly what you want to keep doing if you're Carolina. Is to see if you can frustrate Dobesh. I talked about Svechnikov earlier and the physical brand that he was playing tonight. When he pulls himself out of that dog pile, he puts his helmet back on. But he's looking and he's hunting for that rebound.
I think we're going to see a lot of this from Svechnikov in this series, JP.
Well, physically he can do it. It's not like you get in there and you're just a pest.
And both Svechnikov and Matheson are going to the penalty box.
Right. It's not like you're a pest in there, you know. As much as Brendan Gallagher does a job physically, when the whistle blows and a defender comes in and engages you, Gallagher in all likelihood is going to get pushed aside, and it's the same for the legs of Stankoven and Blake and some of the other players out there. But for Svechnikov, the big body's a heavy man. He can hang in there and battle back.
Svechnikov, 6'2", 195 pounds. 26 years of age. Coming off one of his best seasons in the National Hockey League.
Back to the 30-goal mark. He should be 30 goals in his sleep. He shoots the puck so well, and that's the first time in 4 seasons that he's gotten back to that mark.
In fact, it's career high, 31 goals and a career high 70 points for Svechnikov. He's done for the period. We're 4-on-4 for the final 47 seconds in the second stanza. As the Canadians win the faceoff tie. Deep in their own zone. Picked off by Jackson Blake. Into the slot. Blake drops it back to the line. Healer's over to Blake. Back for Nikishin. His shot goes wide off the body, and Jake Evans will pick it up. From behind the net, Evans slows it down. He'll skate ahead to center. Right in over the Hurricane blue line. Lost it. And Nikishin drags it away for Carolina. Just
Want to solve network issues before they cause downtime? No problem. How about generating a script in minutes that used to take hours? You got it. With our ever-growing ecosystem of solutions, you can cement your reputation, protect your clients, and add revenue streams without additional workloads. Sound too good to be true? Then you don't know ConnectWise.
going to the third.
Well, there it is with Ehlers again as he looks more and more dangerous. But as his puck comes back to Sebastian Aho for the last shot of the period, just not a lot of angle to shoot at. And it's Domex with the save off the crest.
One goal in that second period belongs to Eric Robinson, who gets it at 2:46. Carolina outshoot the Canadians 11-3 in the second, but it's a 4-2 lead for Montreal to go into the final period. In game one, this Eastern Conference final, we got the second intermission roundtable coming your way next on Habs Hockey on CSN 690.
Hi, I'm Dan Robertson, and I'd like to take the time today to talk about something I truly believe in. Campbell versus Gallo on TSN 690. Two men that define the word chemistry, a class they both failed in high school. With their powers combined, it's called must-listen sports radio. It has all my favorite things. Campbell and Gallo. I support Campbell versus Gallo. You should too. Weekdays 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on TSN 690.
This ad is paid for and approved by Campbell versus Gallo and unpaid associates.
Catch everything soccer with Bell's Game Time Bundle.
What about every save? Every header? Tackle. Slide tackle.
Yeah.
Penalty kick. Bicycle.
year or two, you have to download our Ultimate Guide to Moving Up. What a great name, because it has so much information
stop stuttery second period for the Montreal Canadiens. They give up one goal. Eric Robinson on the Carolina side. And it is still a 2-goal cushion here, but we have seen that slip before for Montreal. The Hurricanes got to feel like they are still in the realm of tying this game.
Well, I would think so, and I would hope that,
And here we go.
remind his players that
Getting ready for this third period.
under their belts already, and that they could very much back it. It's a better period for Carolina. There's no debate there, but I don't think it's anything that the Habs haven't seen in some games versus Buffalo, with periods where they got hemmed in and it looked like Montreal was going to collapse. They were able to hang on. They did in the second period against Carolina. We'll see what the third period brings as they get ready to come to center ice and drop the puck.
The third and final period.
See you switch sides again. Canadians moving from left to right in this third and final period of regulation.
Thank you everyone for joining us this evening. 4-2 Montreal.
Matheson and Svechnikov in the box. Here's Jarvis through the middle. First shot of the period flies wide on a grade A scoring try to the number 1.
Jarvis with a good chance, and he'll be stopped.
In the far corner. Carries it up high to the line. Drops it off to Seth Jarvis. Jarvis off the far board. Stops. Drops it at the point for Chatfield. Snap to the net. That's locked down by Dobish. Canadians settle it. And they're going to get a line change.
Just an incredible chance early on for Carolina as that puck gets bumped into the slot area, and it's Jarvis who comes in, tries to go over Dobesh's glove.
Canadians behind their own net. Still
Canadians with it now behind their own net.
trying to complete that line change. Played all the way up to center. Taken away by Blake.
Taken away by Blake.
Matheson, Svechnikov out of the box for 5-on-5.
Svechnikov's out of the box. We're back to 5-on-5.
Jake Evans, and he'll bring it to center. Played in behind the Carolina net.
Behind the Carolina net.
Here goes Ehlers to center.
Ehlers with it.
Down the left side.
Down the left side.
Stahl with a try. That goes up and out of
Stall with a try. And it's going to deflect and go out of play, and we'll have another face-off. Batman.
Finds a seam as he slides past Demidov and gets his puck all the way across the ice. And it's Stahl who gets onto the back end of it. Players to come in.
All right, we're back, everyone. Back for this third period.
Princeton tie. We've got the 1 goal tonight. Played in the USHL with the Dubuque Fighting Saints.
Big weekend at Princeton. It's the annual reunions that are going on. I think there's a bunch of guys who would like to be out in the ice.
I guess you're going to be taking the private jet down to attend that.
Okay, Montreal wins the face-off. No control right now.
Carolina through the middle with Logan Stankoven. Goes off the leg. And the Canadians carry to center.
Canadians carried to center.
Doc trying to center that as Bolduc was wide open.
Doc tried to get it to Doc, and it got broken up.
You can call it for it, and Doc just couldn't get a handle on it.
Canadians up top.
off at the line. Long shot from Struble. That's no problem for Freddie Anderson. It hangs
Long
off.
shot from Struble. Freddie Anderson will get it and hang on, and we'll have another face-off coming up.
Gets this puck back to Struble. Struble drifts it in. That's about as dangerous as we've seen the Canadians probably in the last 5 or 6 minutes. The first couple here in the third, and the last 4 or 5 in the second.
Carolina dug themselves a deep hole early in the first period. And have yet to recover as the Habs win the ozone face-off. Shot from the line is sifted wide. Back out in front. Chatfield was there to guide it away. And out to center it goes for Montreal. Rolled in toward Freddie Anderson. He'll fire it back out through center. Goes all the way to Dobish. He'll spin that around off the boards. Right up to center for Carolina. Svechnikov off to Jarvis.
Svechnikov with it to Jarvis.
Goes off the goalie mask and out of play.
Goes off the goalie mask and out of play.
This is getting a workout tonight. Is that the third time?
It's the third time.
That's the third time that it's caught Dobish in the mask. And it's a lost board battle with the Caulfield as he turns his puck over.
That was deflected, JP. We're just seeing the replay now. Dobson got a stick on it.
Yeah.
So make it still twice. 2 headshots. Like Dobish tonight.
I think he could take a pass on both of those, but it's a turnover to the neutral zone that are going to end up costing the Canadians.
Face off far side on Dobish. Jordan Stahl wins it back. DeAndre Miller.
Face-off won by Carolina. They're still controlling it here.
Back down low for Jordan Martin. Bothered by Texier. Martinuk takes it away.
Martinuk with it.
Switches down low for Stahl. Jordan Stahl under pressure, and the Canadians work it free.
Canadians get it out.
Stahl for the line.
Stahl gets it back.
Back down the wing, in behind
Puts
the
it
net,
down the
Ball
wing.
to play it.
Behind the net.
And
Uh-oh.
Habs defenseman was hauled down to the corner. This is going to be a penalty on Carolina. And Jordan Martinuk will go to the box.
So Jordan Martinuk
That's a tough one for
is
Carolina.
going off for 2.
Is
And
Dobish is
I don't know what they're calling it yet, but it might be like tripping.
gets ripped around the wall. Goalie goes to get his stick on it.
Montreal's going to get a power play here. And
He's heading off to the box.
they haven't been too dangerous on the power play, but all they need is 1 goal.
But it was only for about 20 seconds or so, wasn't it, Victor?
Put this game up by 3 and maybe at a reach.
Canadians will really get at the full 2 minutes.
Both teams are
So they're going to get a power. Montreal's got a power play for 2 minutes. It's going to be 5-on-4. Martinuk goes to the box. 2 minutes for tripping.
2 goals on 40 opposing power plays. Habs look to set it up. Demidov fanned on it. Has to go to center.
There's something you always have to keep an eye on with Carolina, too, as they led the NHL this year with 12 short-handed goals.
Canadians back from their own zone. Suzuki up the center. Down the far side, drop pass off a stick, goes back into neutral ice for Lane Hudson. Hudson right side, stripped of it. Hurricanes filter it to center ice, and the Canadians get back on it. Now here's Hudson in from center, over the line. Off the Caulfield, through the middle with space. Here's Slavkovsky with a shot. Blocker save.
Slavkovsky with the shot. Anderson with the blocker save. And there's about 40 seconds left on this power play.
Carolina in with pressure here. It's Seth Jarvis all by himself. He's just going to pass it all the way back into his own zone.
I think a clever play with Jarvis. No panic at all as he gets his head up, fires his puck back into his own zone. And this is going to be a good 20 seconds that Carolina's going to take off the clock.
Habs back in behind their own net. Here's Zach Bolduc. Now Texier to center. Crossing the line. Texier, far side. Hooks it around the boards. To the line, and the Habs unable to hold it in. Here's Jordan Stahl.
And the penalty is over. Martinuk's out of the box. Back to 5-on-5. Montreal still with it.
All the way out through center again. And that'll be it for the Montreal power play. They get one shot on it. Unable to convert.
And big cheers from the crowd for Carolina there after that successful penalty kill.
5-on-5. Carolina in their own zone to Shea Goss's pair. Carry to center. Shoots it in. Comes over to Gooley. Under pressure from Stan Coleman. Puck comes free on the far side for Carolina. Goss's pair up top. Through the slot. Drops it off. Moving to the inside. Blake can't get that one through on Dovish.
Electric speed with Blake off the wall as he closes one quick step and he creates the separation he needs to get in on Dovesh.
Stan Coleman hammers it in. Stop behind the net.
Oh, what is this? And that should do it.
He'll take his time with it.
That should do it.
Snaps it up the right side. Halves through center. Here's Slavkovsky. Through the middle. Makes a move. Scores!
Slavkovsky through the middle with a beautiful move. Opens up the space. And it is now 5-2 Montreal. Just shy of midway through this third period. Assisted by Suzuki and Cole Caulfield. And Montreal's big line comes out again. They are now up by 3. And if you're a Montreal fan, you can't help but feel pretty confident about the way things are going right now. And this Carolina arena has gone quiet.
For Slavkovsky, and the first goal for Montreal since Davidoff scored at 11:32 in the first period to make it 4-1. 3-goal lead is restored, and now 5-2. Suzuki and Caulfield both get assists. So the first line has come through for the Canadians tonight. Every part of the first line has 2 points as the Habs of ice stood here from center.
So every part of the first line has 2 points. That first line has just been the difference tonight. Canadians have scored 5 goals on 20 shots, which means Anderson has I think a 750, which is pretty bad, truth be told.
To get in alone on Anderson, and from there Slavkovsky makes no mistake with his shot.
Habs in their own zone, under pressure. There's Jordan Stahl with a big hit near side. Puck gets skied out through center ice. It's rolling all the way back and handled by Freddie Anderson. Now Keandre Miller starts ahead to center and snaps it over for Nick Ehlers. Left side, centering try. That's put wide of the net by Stahl. Carolina back on. It's Marco. Tries to throw one out in front. Back to the line. It's handled by Sean Walker. Hurricanes play it back down low. Martin to the far side. To the line now. Miller. Back off the left side. Stolen by Demidov. Played around for Hudson. 11:35 to go in the third. Habs up 5-2 in game 1.
11:35 to go in the third period. The Habs up 5-2. They scored about a minute ago. Slavkovsky assisted by Suzuki and Caulfield. And if you're a Carolina fan, you can't help but think this game just might be too far to reach, but there still is some time to play yet. Anything can happen.
Back in by Montreal, deep the Hurricane territory. Goss's pick. Up the near side to center for Jankowski. Stopped at the blue line, comes over to Eric Robinson. He'll just chip that in from center ice.
A little frustrating setting in for Jankowski in the neutral zone. You feel like he got an opportunity, he just couldn't get his stick on it, headed back to the bench. Disgusting.
Taken away by Carolina in their own zone. Tip through center. It's settled down by Noah Dobson. Canadians on it. Philip Deneau. In behind his his own net with 10:24 to go in the third. Pass to center, rolled in further by Texier.
Save some green, roll with yellow. Take it.
Juraj Slavkovsky, and that's going to put some pretty comfortable.
All right, we are back here. 9:55 left to play in the third at the Lenovo Center. Montreal Canadiens are leading the Carolina Hurricanes 5-2.
Success on the power play. 8 of his 9 points have come on the power play. It finally manages to get a 5-on-5 goal on that sweet coat drive play past Svechnikov and a clever tuck past Anderson.
Faceoff comes 7 on Dovish. It's won back by Carolina. Far side corner, centering try, doesn't get through. As the Hurricanes spin it down low. They'll be picked up by Philip Deneau. Off the glass. Trying to work it up to center. It does get there. And the Canadiens will play it back. Changing at the bench is Alexander Carrier.
Just looking to feel quiet all of a sudden, Victor.
Juraj Slavkovsky at center. Plays it ahead for Nick Suzuki. He'll follow it in deep. With Keandre Miller. Back up the far side, taken away by Nick Ehlers. Feeds it through center. Here's Jordan Martinook. We'll play that in deep. Habs pick it up. Slavkovsky turns away from Aho. Canadiens will just continue to kill some time here in their own zone behind the net. Not a whole lot going on in this third period now. It's 5-2.
Well, then here's something else that you got to think and keep in mind is Brighamore still got 8:45 left to go in the third period. So he's going to be talking to his assistants about when he might need to start thinking about blowing goals in there.
Matheson steps into Seth Jarvis to knock him off the puck. And the Canadiens play it to center, where it'll be gloved down by Alexander Nikisha. Gostisbehere in his own zone. Backhands it ahead through center. It skips away from Logan Stankoven. Now settled down by Lane Hudson behind his own net. Here goes Oliver Cabinet.
Right down the near side, no icing here is Freddie Anderson. Rips it off the boards. Hurricanes try and angle it out through center into the Montreal zone. Late penalty here as it goes back the other way for a whistle.
We're going to have a Cooley going off for a check from behind. I don't think any better or rough.
So Carolina's going to go on the power play here with just under 8 minutes to go. Caden Gooley goes off for a cross check from behind. He's going to get 2 minutes.
Tries to get in over the blue line. Carolina's coming back on the power play when we get back to the break.
7:54 to go in the third period. Back in a moment here on Hops Hockey at TSN 690.
speed into the Montreal zone, broke it up. So Canadians.
All right, so that power play will end with Carolina getting 0 shots on the power play. And there are some boos coming from the Raleigh crowd now.
Behind the Carolina net, spills out in front. Jordan Stahl is there. And the Hurricanes come down the left side. Martin throws it on net. That's gloved down by Dovish, and he'll freeze it for the whistle. I believe just 5 minutes and 17 seconds to go in the third period on the Novo Center. 5-2, Montreal lead in Game 1 on Habs Hockey on TSN 690.
Are you looking for a damage insurance broker that specializes in commercial insurance? There is only one name, SR Insurance. Present in 12 regions in Quebec.
His last part on the table here to try.
So there is 5 minutes left in this third period, and Carolina has pulled their goalie, so it'll be 6-on-5. And I can't say I blame them. They've got to do something to shorten this lead if they're going to have any chance, but it might just be too late. People are going to the exits. That's kind of a telltale sign.
Rolls it down low for Sebastian Aho. Line of the point for Goss's pick. Down low it goes. Right around to the near side. Hurricanes hold it in. Aho trying to toss it to the net. Doesn't get it through. Aho near side. Walker back to the line. Aho floats it well wide. Back to the point. Walker courts a one-timer wide of the mark. Slavkovsky gets to it, and he'll fire it out to center. So 4:36 to go in the third. Still no shots in this third period for Carolina. Plenty of attempts. They have not had an easy time finding the net. Has break up a zone entry and play it down ice. This will go for an icing call.
Canadians will be happy to do this every time the play.
And that's going to be an icing call.
His stick on it. He tries to go cross ice, a little bit too much weight on it, but Dan.
Last two goals for the Canadians.
Within the first 30 seconds, the Canadians roar back with 4 in the first.
All right, everybody. Sorry about that. Some technical difficulties on this end. I do apologize for that. Thank you all for sticking with us. Carolina, after striking first with a 1-0 lead, in the first was answered back by Montreal 30 seconds later to make it 1-1. Montreal would then go on to score 3 more goals in the first to make it 4-1 after the first. Carolina would have a much better second and come back slightly and narrow the gap to 2 before Montreal would get 1 here earlier in the third to make it 5-2, and finally an empty netter to make it 6-2. Flip side says it's duty time. Got a little bit of COD coming up later, late night COD. Check that out on Flipside Gaming channel for all your Black Ops 7 needs and many other classics.
As Capita gets run into, it's Blake in the corner, is finishing his check off. This is over a minute left to go, and Capita did not like it.
Big thumbs up for Flipside Gaming and all that she does for us and for her own channel and for her audience members. And that is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to do it. And I got to tell you, I'm a little bit shocked here. Carolina does look like indeed they had plenty of time off. 11 days with no hockey, while Montreal had, I think, 2 or 3 days off. And yeah, it definitely shows here Montreal's going to take it. 6-2 is the final here from the Lenovo Center in Raleigh, Carolina.
Hands in the corner, toss it out to center. Bounce right back in by Carolina, just 10 seconds to go here. Struvel's going to sit on it behind the net. An explosive start tonight in game 1 for the Montreal Canadiens. Seems to fire 4 unanswered.
And that is going to do it. They sound the horn, and this game is officially over. If you're a Carolina fan, you got to be wondering what happened with maybe the 11 games or 11 days off having something to do with it. And if you're a Montreal fan, you got to be very happy right now. Nobesh stops 24 on 26 shots. The Slavkovsky, Caulfield, Suzuki line was dominant with 2 points apiece. And if you're a Montreal fan, you can't be anything but happy the way this is going. So, on behalf of me, BOG0690, you have been watching the Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final between Montreal Canadiens and the Carolina Hurricanes here on the BOG Network. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope to see you again. Feel free to come by anytime you like. Lurk in the chat, drop a comment, get active in the chat, whatever you want to do. We like to see you around. So once again, thanks again, everybody. Take care and good night.
Second star with 3 assists on 4 shots is Nick Suzuki, and your first star with 2 goals and 1 assist on 4 shots for a 3-point night is Uri Slavkovsky.